I love a bit of titanium. I've had a reasonable amount of success with the way that I fry eggs in titanium cookware, so I thought I'd share with you today, and hopefully it'll help. Let's get a cup of tea on first. It's a very, very cold, miserable grey day. I'll be glad when the sunshine comes out. Just for a couple of days. Let's warm the cup. And then whilst he's warming, I'll show you today's stove. This stove's called a Hive, and it was made by Backpacking Light, who are no longer with us. Two owners of that, they retired last year before. And this stove's absolutely brilliant. You might remember the honey stove, which is very popular for bushcrafters and all the rest of it. And it's a great piece of kit. I bought the original one in stainless steel. And then I went and bought the titanium one when that came out. So I love a bit of titanium. And then they had the Hive upgrade, and I bought that as well. So it's the base plate and a couple of extra doors to go on to make it larger. For me, the honey stove as it was, and then the upgrade for the Hive was the ultimate in versatility and weight, ultra lightweight camping, backpacking, cycling, etc. Absolutely love it. So for me, the honey stove especially is number one when it comes to that kind of criteria. The thing that let this down was the lack of innovation. It was brilliant coming out with this wonderful product, ultra lightweight, made out of titanium, but it kind of stopped there. There was no more innovation. There was no more add-ons, no more extra stuff. The only additional accessory you got was this grill to go on the top. And that's where it stopped. I've made a couple of pins myself to go through out of some barbecue skewers. I'm going to use them in a minute on my pans to hold them up. There's a lot of innovation in the honey stove, and when it came to the Hive, this was it. When I talk about innovation, let's get rid of my hot water. What I compare this to is firebox, folding firebox stoves. They keep innovating and coming out with more and more products, which you look at them and you think, that's amazing. How did you think of that? How did you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning with a brilliant idea and then put it into practice? Because there's been the Nano, the Firebox Freestyle, the Firebox 5-inch. The list goes on. Seems to be a lot of people arriving in this car park. I got distracted. 2 titanium pots. They're both about the same size. They're both 900mm. One of them is from Avenue. It's a bit heavy. Oh, there's my eggs. Wouldn't have been a good video without me eggs, would it? I'll just leave them to one side. One of them is the Avenue, and one of them is from Silverantoutdoors. They're both made of titanium. They're both lightweight. However, if you put them both on the scales, the Avenue is ultra lightweight, and that is because it is ridiculously thin. Whereas the Silverant, it's ridiculously strong. They're both absolutely brilliant saucepans. Neither one is better than the other. Thank you very much for all your comments. Keep putting them in there. I read them all, and I do respond when I can. And I've just discovered the little love heart thing by the side. I've been doing YouTube for 6 years, and I didn't work that out. That the heart on the side is to say, I've read your comment and thank you very much for that, and I liked it, and I started pressing the little hearts on the right hand side when I get to see the comments. So why I didn't work that out before, I've got no idea. One of the things I really like about the Hive setup is that you can put a pot this size into it and it acts as a windshield. Time to fry an egg. The first thing is make your simmer ring quite small. Close that gap up. You don't need massive amount of heat. This will heat up really quickly. Reasonable amount of oil. Use your judgment with this. Just as he starts smoking, take him off. Get your egg in. Back on the heat, remembering he's very low. And put your lid on. And that's it. The key to this is the lid. So when the heat builds up in there, the steam rises, comes up underneath the lid, and then it circulates down and it cooks your egg. We just move that saucepan around so that that heat gets to circulate on the bottom of the saucepan a bit more to give us an even cook. Let's have a sneak peek. He's doing a fine job. You can see all that steam. Another minute or so. How are we doing? Oh yes. Take him off. There we go. No burning. It's not really stuck either. It's a little bit there. So difficult in a saucepan. Got that little bit of browning underneath. But he's not burnt. Don't do this in the saucepan, folks. There you go. It's moved around. There's a little burnt spot on the bottom there. But he's looking good. Oh, he knocked me tea over. Use me spork. Lovely cooked egg. Slight bit of burn in there. But he's not too bad. He's not dramatic, is he? I enjoyed that. Now on to the thinner avenue. This one might give me a couple of problems. Extra bit of oil. You've got to use a reasonable amount of oil in this. So he's starting to heat up and burn already. Can you see that? Let's take him off the heat. I'm expecting this one to stick. Lid on. There's a little tiny bit of shell underneath there as well. I'll try and fish him out in a second. Where is he? Sneaky little devil. Oh, little tiny bit of shell. Come on. You can already see with the thinner titanium, with the same heat, how quickly that heat transfer goes through. Got him. So if you're using gas, the principle's the same. Just keep them on very low heat. And because the heat's centered on one spot, try and move your saucepan around a little to try and get an even heat under the pan. And as I said, use a lid and the steam comes up and it helps to cook your egg. Let's have a sneak peek. Nearly there. Let's move him around. And if you've got a little corner that's not quite cooking, then you could always hold your pan up over it just to get heat on that little bit. It takes a bit of patience. Let's have a look. That'll do. That only took a couple of minutes. Let's have a look at this bad boy. You've got to be very patient and very gentle. In fact, I don't think I burnt that one at all. Could have been cooked a little tiny bit better over on there. But other than that, same again. Little teeny weeny bit of burn in there. And as I said, the heat that I'm using is minimal. So even if you're using gas, you don't want to use much more than that. And I've got myself a beautifully cooked egg. Cleaning up's an absolute breeze. Bit of kitchen roll, wiping round, and you're done. It's a real shame that this Hive stove isn't still made, or the honey stove, because I'm sure there'd be a big market for people buying these, and especially if someone come up with a few more accessories rather than having to make your own. Excellent piece of kit. Hopefully that's helped you out in some small way if you've had problems frying eggs in titanium. If you've enjoyed my shenanigans, then feel free to drop a like and subscribe down below. So far I've been really lucky with the weather. I wonder if I can get back to my car without it pouring down and getting soaking wet. It's been absolutely freezing. Let's just check everything. It's all good. Got everything. It's been absolutely freezing today. But it's been worth coming out